Hey guys, Jamie here for week 5 of our DBT Skills for the Holidays series. Today I'm going to be talking about mindfulness, emotions, and how some of the emotions we typically associate with this time of year, such as anticipation and excitement, while being good, can also lead to some negative thought patterns if we don't kind of keep them in check. So in DBT, we define mindfulness as doing one thing on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally and effectively. And some of our emotions are like pretty mindful in general, right? Like joy is a mindful emotion in that we experience it about the present moment, and when we are in it, it's easy to be in it and to just be focused kind of on what is going on that's bringing the joy and on the present moment, here and now. Some emotions, though, tend to take us to not mindful places. Depression, oftentimes, like depression thoughts are post-thinking. They're backwards thoughts about how things used to be and how sadness over what could have been or what was different. Anxiety thoughts often are about the future and what outcomes could come and how stressful that time is. And they're not about what's going on right now, but they're about what could happen. So when we think about the holidays, for a lot of us, the emotion that is kind of a primary one that we think about most is this like emotion of excitement. And excitement really is like the looking forward to of joy to come, right? The excitement is this emotion that like it is the anticipation of future joy. The situation is going to bring us joy down the road. And so, like, when I think back to my childhood, I think not about, like, Christmas morning itself, right? But the feeling that the whole holiday season had, looking forward to all these good things that were going to come kind of stacked right on top of each other, and that this was going to be such a fun couple of weeks even. When I was little, I loved these they were country Christmas cassette tapes. And I could not wait to start listening to them. And my mom's not a huge fan of Christmas music, and so we would the agreement was like they wouldn't come out until after Thanksgiving. But I could not wait to get them out and put them in our big cassette player that like went throughout our whole house, and like that was so exciting for me because it like meant the season was officially here and like all that excitement and good stuff was to come. But as an adult, what I found is that like that excitement didn't tend to lead to all the positive emotions that I felt when I was a child. Oftentimes it would kind of actually contribute to some negative emotions. And so there's a couple of things that are going on that can kind of contribute to that, and it took me like doing some research to understand why. So the first one being that excitement is not mindful. It's not based in the present moment. And so if you're spending your whole holiday season looking forward to the good, then you're not being present for the good that's happening right now. And I think like when I compare my adulthood to my childhood, you know, there were good things happening almost daily because it's like easy to like have the good things and to be present for them when you're little, right? Like, oh, just a candy cane is an exciting thing to get when you're a little kid. And as an adult, like the things that I get excited for were much more, they were bigger, right? And so I looked forward to these things, but there were fewer things that were like actually coming through. And so then if those events turned out to not be good, like there was less positive all around because I was like putting my eggs in fewer baskets. I was like depending on fewer things to bring that joy around. Another thing that can be unhelpful with excitement is that for those of us that have perfectionistic thoughts, if we had this idea of how things are going to turn out and we're looking forward to the perfect turnout, then it's even harder for us to let go of those and to just roll with the punches when life inevitably happens. And so if I've planned this beautiful Christmas Eve dinner and I've got, you know, the hors d'oeuvres and a dinner and an after dinner event and all these things planned, and then something goes wrong within the first 10 minutes, for those of us with perfectionistic thoughts, it's hard to rebound, right? It's hard to let go of like, oh, this isn't going to be the way I thought it was, and to just be present for the joy that can be there now. And specifically, like that ties in with a couple of cognitive distortions. Perfectionism tends to be like an all or nothing thing, right? So like if I notice something's failing at the very beginning, I can just completely give up on it. Like, oh, this isn't going to turn out how I wanted. It's not going to be what I expected. So it's not worth it at all. Also, some other distortions that tie in with this are future telling. Like, oh, because this happened, I know that the rest of these things are going to go wrong. And also discounting the positive, this idea that like, oh, my brain is only going to see the negative things because I'm now in this place where I'm like filtering for negative. I'm looking for more things to confirm that like this is going to go bad the way I thought it was. And so those are just a couple of ways that like anticipation and excitement, while good, can also kind of lead to some negative emotions. You put your eggs into a few baskets and you get let down, and you're not invested in the present moment, and so you miss these small opportunities for joy throughout, and then it can also like kind of contribute to these distortions. And so if you are one of these people where you notice that like, I really do find that childlike wonder in this holiday season, but then I also see that it kind of brings me to letdown, I encourage you to be mindful of how much time you're spending in like anticipation and that looking forward to future joy, and to try to kind of calibrate that down to be more just present-based joy, to find the little things and have excitement over them in the moments as they come, and to be here and now and present. And that's what I encourage for you this holiday season. If you've enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like it and share, as always. That helps me out. We've got 3 more videos to finish off this holiday series, and then at the beginning of the year we're going to start off with talking about some goal setting and behavior change and some ways to approach that. Happy holidays, everybody, and I'll see you soon.